All right. Well, it's not the tour. It's not even a single show, but it is what seemed to be the talk of the tour. The Greek tweezer, the tweezer from the Greek. It is, nearly 44 minutes, although runtime, not always what it's about. Perhaps this is one of those times. And, they get settled into it quickly. We're into tweezer about 3.5 minutes in. It's like, boom, all right. We're not messing around here, man. We're not going to go through this more than once. Boom, right into a jam. And then, 6, 9 minutes in, somewhere around there, Trey's trying, we're trying to work things out. But finally, by about 11 minutes or so, 10:45, 10:50, somewhere in that range, Mike and Paige really start to get together. It starts to get a little bit funky there. And they're like, well, let's take it in this direction. Somewhere around, maybe a minute later, around 11 and a half, 11:40 or so, the red lights come on, kind of signaling Trey, like, all right, Mr. Red, this is your turn. It's your time, all right? Mike and Paige are only going to carry this so far. We're here to see you, man. You got the electric guitar. Let's do this. And he's like, all right. Well, it takes him about a minute or so. But, about a minute later, Trey is like indeed doing something. And that's, kind of, somewhere around that 10, around the 11-minute mark is really where, maybe part two. If you start the very beginning up to around there, around 11 minutes. And then that's when Mike and Paige were trying to funk it up a little bit. And then Trey finally gets involved. He's going off. And then, Fishman's trying to push it. Trey's leading there. He's going. They're jamming. Around 16 minutes or so, Fishman's trying to push the pace a little bit. It doesn't last long, though. About maybe a minute or two later, they have completely backed off. And they're slowly trying to make their way. Maybe then around 9, maybe another minute of noodling. I don't want to use the word noodling. That's a bit harsh. So then, somewhere around 19 minutes, we get another takeoff point. Trey's responsible for this one in a good way. Here, not too long, we're going to get some wooing. I think I heard the cat trying to get in. So then, yeah, from there, about 19 and a half, 24 and a half, that section right there, we're slowly starting to build. By 26 minutes, we're making our way back to Tweezer. Could have been the end. You would have thought it would have been the end, if it had ended right here around this 26, 27-minute mark. It wouldn't have been one that people were talking about for very long. But if you went that night, you'd have been very happy with the Tweezer that you got. We certainly wouldn't have got a 4-set second set if that were the case. And then by about 27 minutes, 27 and a half minutes, you're thinking, all right, boom, now we're officially back to Tweezer. We're going to wrap this up. This is going to be about a 29-minute Tweezer. Like I said, it wouldn't have been an A+, wouldn't have been one of the best ever, but it certainly wouldn't have been a stinker. But that was not the case. They were not wrapping it up around 29 minutes. Around 30 and a half, about the 30-minute mark, 30 minutes, 30 seconds, it was just like they're in a whole new world. Where are they going to go from here? We didn't hit like a huge, big second peak. Even the big peak really just led us right back into Tweezer. There wasn't the, we had some white light moments, but not really just blowing the place up. And then, then we got into Woo Town. Quickly, once we were in this whole new world, we realized this whole new world is Woo Town, which was quite unfortunate, really. Perhaps they should have just wrapped it up right there at 29 minutes. Luckily, we weren't there long. Fishman goes over to pull us out of Woo Town. He has to get up, go dust off the marimba lumina. My goodness, I ain't seen that thing in a while, I don't believe. I don't know if that thing was active this tour or not. And, it doesn't get a lot going on really there. I think once they went to Woo Town, man, that pretty much blew everything. He tried, the Lumina wasn't getting things going. There was no gangbang. The guys didn't come over and join him. Trey didn't sit down at the drums. Nothing like this, Woo Town was bad news. The crowd was reluctant too, They didn't really, they were half into it, maybe 2/3 of them into it, The woos really weren't blowing your head back, so that's positive. There were definitely some anti-woo people there at the Greek, which is surprising, I'll say. And then maybe about 41 and a half, you start to sense maybe a little simple. There's parts of this jam where it sounded a little blaze-on-y, perhaps. That's not a good thing. You don't want that. You don't want to blaze on in your tweezer. That's for sure. No offense to blaze on. Maybe a little offense though. Maybe a little offense there to blaze on. So, all right. And then, around 44 minutes, boom, here we are. We are now in Simpletown. All right, guys. Speaking of simpletons, boom. All right. Everybody that, I don't know if you're still here, if you caught the previous couple of videos I posted over the last few days, thank you to everybody. And, Boom, doing really well. Blown away. I was blown away once and I'm blown away again. Appreciate it. And again, I've seen everyone's messages. Haven't replied to anyone, but I have read every single one of them. And boom, we're out of here. We're going to head to Woo Town. Nah, we're going to go to Chomper City. I heard it's legal there.